Hello, people. I just want to talk about this. This has been on my mind for a while now. And um, I used to get bullied by my Christian brothers and sisters, and especially by Christian priests. I'm going to tell you a pretty great saga. Oh, kind of like a terrible saga story. I used to go to these like Christian, sorry, rephrase, Christian church youth groups where kids used to go um, to see if I can fit in. And I never used to fit in that much in them places. I just never used to fit in that much in them places. Because all the kids used to bully me and the shit what comes out of my mouth. They used to say shit like, "Oh, you're a sinner for saying shit like this," and all this stuff. And I used to go back home crying, you know. Basically, the whole point about this video, I used to get bullied by my own religion, what I used to believe in. And I still believe in it. I'm a Christian, proud and simple. But I'm an open-minded Christian on the point. When I used to go to church, every time I used to go to church, I used to dress like a bit like a punk. That was my kind of like dress style. I used to like punk style. And I used to get really stink eye by my brothers and sisters in the community, in the church. You know, when you're in the church, you know, when you go in the church and you sit down and you pray and you listen to the verse. I used to get the stink eye a lot when I used to walk into church every Sunday and Friday and everything else. I used to get the stink eye a lot because the way how I dress, the way how I look. I used to dress up in like denim and punky ass, punk ass, leather jackets and all kinds of shit. Like, it doesn't really fit into that kind of, style. And I used to get the stink eye a lot. I used to see people on the side, like, when I used to wear my glasses, and I used to take my glasses off, and when I take my glasses off, where I actually, bow down to the altar to Jesus. And I bowed down and just sat on my seat and just listened to the verses and stuff like that, and just got out. And I told one person of my ordeal, and his name is Eric DeBay, and I told him this story, this saga, I should say. I think I didn't, or I did. I went in there, right? No, well, to get spiritual guidance from a priest, right? And I said, do I have to read the Bible to go to heaven? Do I have to? And the priest replied back to me, and he said, yes, you have to read the Bible to go to heaven. And more or less, I'm going to hell, right? Because I'm illiterate, right? And he said, yes. Oh, man, that really fucking pissed me off. Like, I felt like that really fucked my head up to this day. What that priest said to me and everything else. Like, I don't understand. Like sometimes I don't understand my religion that much. The people in it and the followers and stuff like that. I don't really understand them that much. That's why I'm an open-minded Christian. It's good to be open-minded. Yeah, it's good to be open-minded. Yeah, and especially I used to get patronized by my brothers and sisters in the church groups too. And yeah, like sometimes I say, a certain thing, like a certain thing, you know, they just practically call me a fucking sinner, like out of the fucking blue, call me a sinner. Fuck, like, I thought going to church is for you to not be judged upon by people. Like when I used to go into church a lot, or youth groups and shit like that, um, I get looked down a lot. And to this day, I'd never go. Well, to this day, I'd never been back into a church, or never went into a church ever since. And I don't like how Christians are like as people. Like they think their shit doesn't stink. Like, and I bet you any money they're fucking hypocrites anyway. You know, like like all of us in this world, like all of us in this world. Um, and yeah, like I just think they're just hypocritical, all of them. Never been back to do a confession. I just never really liked going to church that much no more since since my older days. I haven't been into church for nearly 10 years. I haven't even been into a I've never been into them places for that many years, and it's that reason why. Because I used to get bullied, patronised, get called a sinner every freaking time. Every time I open my mouth and say certain questions and shit like that. Yeah. I used to get called heaps of shit under the sun. I didn't really like it. I didn't like getting called sinner. Sometimes I get called a blasphemer. Certain shit I say, and sometimes it's not sometimes, and it's basically correct what I'm saying. That's why I'm becoming more of an open-minded Christian every day, because I just don't like. I don't even like. It's kind of funny to say. Like I just don't really like my Christian brothers and sisters, and especially the priest in the churches. I just don't like them at all. I don't hate, but I don't like them. I'd rather talk to an open-minded person every day, like my friend Seattle Green and all my flat Earth brothers and sisters in the community, and especially Eric Dubay, and especially some of the open-minded people who I talk to. I can't really name on the top of my freaking head. Yeah, like yeah, it's just sad, You felt like when you go into these like really love that they say they're lovely places, and they say, ooh, like they're really lovely places and everything else, and you have to go to church every Friday and Sunday and shit like that. And if you don't, you get looked at as a fucking complete fucking sinner and a satanical person. I used to get bullied. Heaps. Bullied, pressured, everything else under the sun. Why I'm an open-minded Christian? Because I'm open-minded to a lot of things in religion these days. Like Buddhism and all kinds of stuff. And you know the fucked up thing is, like, they say, Christian people say these days, meditation is a sin. Meditation is a sin? How? Just give me a second, I'm gonna ash this. And meditation is a sin. That doesn't make any fucking sense, does it? What they say. And they say when you meditate, you're conjuring demons and evil spirits. Well, when I meditate, right, sometimes when I meditate, like this, I'm meditating to my God in heaven and praying to Yeshua when I'm doing this. And they say me praying like that is conjuring spirits. That doesn't really make any sense. And this is why I play with things like this, to keep me peace. Play with Tibetan singing bowls. And the thing is why I don't like Christians that much, because they say animals don't go to heaven. Animals don't go to heaven. I find that bullshit. Animals are more, I don't know, more pure than us. You know, I would think there are animals in heaven, and you know the thing is, animals have more humanity than us put together. And it's completely motherfucking true. It's truth to the matter. Animals are more wiser and more pure and more everything. And us people in general, God's creation, He created in His own image, we practically class as violent, prohibitive, destructive beings. But I've been looking into Eric Dubé's videos a lot lately, and it was once upon a time we used to live in harmonic, kumbaya places. We used to live in that kumbaya state, I love to live back in them days, back in the bygone days, where people used to, live in peace and not like this shit what we're living in today, Sorry, I'm not doing the devil's fucking hand signal. I'm just holding the lighter in a weird way. I wish we go back to that time. Because I really hate what we are living in now. It's completely drama. It's completely, how to say, it's kind of like Wallace Gooseballs, man. That's my catchphrase I always say sometimes. The whole world's just become a fucking Wallace Gooseballs. Full of fucking psychos and everything else. I just don't get the world these days, because I don't even get my own religion these days. They're so simple-minded and everything else within that. I never really have, since when I became 20, I never really had that close bond with my religion that much. I have basically debates with God. I debate with God a lot. I debate with Jesus a lot these days. I debate with everything. And the thing is, right, I despise what the devil does. I despise that snake and that putrid worm. I despise that spiritual being. I despise it. I'm not satanical. I'm none of all that fucking mumbo jumbo. I'm just a peaceful person trying to live my life and try to see the meaning of life. It's sometimes us people, we need to rely on ourselves and not rely on God so much, because sometimes God's not going to do anything for you. Like, He never done anything for my cats when all my cats died. As a believer to God and Jesus, you would think, they would step in and save your loved ones or your animals, or to keep you happy and contain and content. It's kind of like the opposite thing. Sometimes you have to rely on yourself. To rely on yourself and your own spiritual, your own spiritual soul to abide for you. Sometimes God is not going to abide things for you, like He never did for me. I had a cat who ran away. Don't know where it went. And I haven't buried my cat. His name is Simba. I had for 20 years. 15 years. Nearly 20 years, I should say. I don't even know where the fuck he went, or where he died, or who took him. And if God was God right, He would have told me where he is. But He doesn't want to do it. And I don't like God's sick. It's kind of like a sick game of God. And I don't like it. And I just think He lets the devil do what he wants on this earth, and lets him get away with it, more or less. And He said He created us in His own image, right? He said He created us in His own image, right? Why He didn't give us power to help people, like the power to create miracles. And I'm just going to leave it as that. Say it bye, and the time is about to run out. And see ya. And God bless you. See you bye.